Welcome back, survivors. Today we are going to be doing an in-depth looting guide, and right from the start what you have to know is when you start your character, the first place that you can get a loot from is the forest. Okay, the forest gets used for most of your base building materials, and of course it gets used for most of your survival materials. When I say survival materials, I mean, the knives and your backpack and your spears, your basic survival gear. The other thing about a forest is that there are quite a lot of resources in a forest. Okay, one of the resources will be mushrooms, okay, which you can eat, or you can hold in your button and you can pick it up. Okay, these mushrooms are great for your vitamin D. You will see there by vitamins, vitamin D. Okay, you get two kinds of mushrooms that gives you vitamin D. And then you can see it gives you a bit of carbs as well. Okay, so first of all, you can get mushrooms from the forest. And then of course your bushes and your sticks and everything. Okay, you get various kinds of mushrooms with various, with varying degrees of vitamins and minerals and stuff like that. Okay, so if you keep looting the forest, you'll get ones that push up your carbs, your protein, and different things like that. And then if you keep running through the forest, you'll find logs. Okay, now logs, when you search a log, it will give you grasshoppers or little worms. Okay, grasshoppers, as you can see, 10.5 grams of protein, 6.4 grams of fat. Okay, we don't want to overdo the fat, not too much sodium, but we can also see by the vitamins, 24% of the B2, and it gives you minerals as well. So you can definitely eat these guys. Okay, and if you keep running through the forest, you can work up a nice diet with these guys. And then of course you get these little lava worms as well. Okay, more or less the same. More or less the same vitamins that you get. So just know you can search the forest. And of course in the forest you get animals which you can hunt down with your bow. And then the other great food resources are birds. Okay, as soon as you get a gun, they do come and land now and then you can shoot them down with your bow, and they will give you, nice sources of food as well. When I struggle to find an animal, then I always aim for birds. Okay, just remember there can only be a certain amount of birds on a server. So if your server is full and you don't see any birds in the sky, just know that the birds are spawning by the other people. Just take your time and the birds will spawn by you. Now, as soon as you start, you want to use the forest for as long as possible. So that you've got a spear, you've got a bow, you've got arrows, you've got a courier backpack, and everything that you need. Okay, the other great resources are in cars, because you're gonna use these resources for other things as well. If you want to know what an item does, all you do is you right click on it and you examine it. And then it will tell you what you're going to use these resources for. Okay, so just with scrap metal, I can craft a leather belt pistol holder, which is going to help me. I can craft the improvised bulletproof armor, which is going to help me a ton against low caliber weapons. The practice bomb, which is going to help me to max out my demolition skill. The blast cap, okay, a heck of a lot of resources that you can use. And then if we look here, examine, then we can of course see the lead plates we use for crafting ammo. Okay, so everything that you see can be used. Okay, and then you get these little coops here where you normally get arrows. If you examine the arrows, then it will tell you it's basically for arrows and crossbow bolts. Okay, which you can clearly use. And then in houses, you basically get these kitchen cupboards, which gives you food. Now my loot multiplier is set on max, and I've disabled the puppets and the makes, okay, just to show you guys this thing is much faster. So just know the loot is very high. so that I can just show you what you can find in certain places. Okay, so kitchen cupboards are for food, fridges are for food, stoves are for food and resources. Any house focuses on clothing. Okay, that's the main resource of a house, is clothing. So if you're looking for clothing, okay, a house is where you want to search. And then junk piles like these can give you nails and scrap metal and other stuff that you need. Okay, and then you get places like this as well, that gives you these little barns. And here you can see on the floor, this is always in the loot. This is in your vicinity on the floor. So if I do this, now both of them are on the floor. These give you feathers. Okay, and here we can find boxes of nails. Boxes of nails and boxes of bolts are very, very useful. Okay, of course, a rag is always useful if you get hurt. And gunpowder. Okay, so I did make a looting guide that would have taken about 3 hours to show you guys exactly where you can find every single item that you need. Okay, but when I wanted, when I edited the video to get all the information, it took about 3 hours. And yes, it would have been good that you guys can see where to find each and every specific item that you're looking for. But what I found out is that Scum motivates you to loot all the areas. Okay, so when you start looting, you focus on the forest. When you're done with the forest, you focus on towns. Small towns preferably, because the bigger towns will have mine traps or will just be more occupied, probably with geared players. If the server isn't very busy, then of course you can go to bigger towns. But on full servers, you need to focus on quiet towns where you can see movement a lot better, because the bigger the town is, the more places there are for people to camp, or spot you before you can spot them. Of course, there's a lot of hiding spots for you as well, but that's my belief. And then once you're done with small towns, you get different kinds of hunting cabins. Like right here in the open field, you get tents that aren't really protected. You get tents here. You get tents here by the shooting range. Okay, you get different kind of hunting cabins like here as well, where there are tents that can give you easy guns and stuff like that. But in the beginning, you will be fine with a bow and a spear. Okay, and then later on, you'll have to focus on a pistol and maybe a shotgun. And you can definitely kill any player with a pistol or a shotgun, especially when you get close to them. Okay, so after a town, I'm just going to show you this little, what the hunting cabins look like and what they can offer you. Okay guys, so here we get to the little hunting cabin that I showed you on the map. Okay, you get different kinds of little hunting cabins. Okay, I have made a guide on the Scum tooltips. Okay, and the scummap.com. So, if you want to find the hunting cabins, the scummap.com can show you where all the cabins are. And they have got these tents. And these tents are really, really great, okay, for weapons and stuff. So, here we found a shotgun. Remember, the loot is high. We have found a backpack here. There's another backpack, okay. So, at the end of the day, the reason I don't like high loot servers is because when you're experienced, then it's like a PvP game. That's why I always relate high loot servers to like PUBG. Okay, because it doesn't take much skill. But in any case, the reason for this is just to show you guys what you can get. You can get a gas mask to go into the kill box very easily. You can get bullets. And you can get, a weapon cleaning kit, which is extremely important. Find it quite surprising that I can clean this weapon because I've got no engineering skill. So that's quite surprising, but okay. And then these green crates are always good for ammunition, and military gear. This is good. These boxes are good for military gear, but of course, if you loot a lot of them and don't find anything, just know that the spawn rates on them are usually low because the gear that you get in them are quite good. Okay, so depending on what you loot, like this advanced compass is a very, very powerful tool. Okay, because now I've got an advanced compass. above me. Okay, that's why it's quite rare. But you can see that the green boxes, you know, focuses on military stuff, and this as well. And you can usually find weapons and stuff up here. Any tower you can find weapons in. Okay, this is a quiet place, guys. If you get into a fight here, you'll see, you know, you'll see the guy coming. People don't stay here forever. That's the other thing about big towns. People tend to loot big towns for quite a while. Okay, which makes your possibility of running into a person quite high. Okay, but the faster the place is to loot, you know, like this place is very small. I can loot it very quickly. That's why I say small towns are great to loot, because the faster a person can just go in and out, the less chances there are that you're going to run into a player. The bigger a place is to loot, like a bunker or, you know, like the big city takes a heck of a long time to loot. So the chances that you're going to run, you know, into people there is quite high. But like I say, these hunting cabins are a great resource, quiet resource for guns. And then any tower, any hunting tower is great for weapons as well. Okay, I get a lot of hunting gear here and clothing, which helps a lot for me to get extra slots. Okay, and then puppets as well. Puppets is a great way to loot, not really for their clothing. Okay. If you cut their clothing up into rags, then you can go and clean those rags. So a lot of puppets gives you rags with 100% durability, which helps you to heal a little bit faster, and it takes a bit less health away when you heal. You will see when you heal, your health goes down, you know, a little bit after you've used the rag or the bandage. So those 100% rags that you get from puppets are quite good quality, and then you can just go wash them with soap. Okay, and then they're absolutely great. And then of course you get a lot of these buildings. Luckily they've got kitchens, okay, which gives you food. When it comes to a diet, just be very careful with fat and saturated fat. Okay, fat and saturated fat is going to let your character pick up weight, and because your character gets fatter, you're going to start losing durability, your constitution, and dexterity. Okay, just don't go in the opposite direction, because if you lose too much weight, your character is going to start losing strength. Okay, so a healthy diet for me is something between plus 2,000 and minus 2,000. I like to play around between plus 2,000 and minus 2,000. I always focus on getting my water at about 100%. Okay, because you can see when I use water, I use 400 units per hour, but I use 2,000 units of food. That's why I say 2,000 is a good target, so that you can run around, you know, for 2 hours instead of an hour. Because if you get to a positive calorie balance of 2,000, then you know the next hour is going to bring you to 0, and then the hour after that's going to take you to minus 2,000, so that you can eat again and get yourself back to 0. It's very important to keep that balance and never to let your fat and your saturated fat get too high. Focus on protein, carbs, sugar isn't too bad either, okay? And then I don't really like to focus on fiber, because for some reason fiber never wants to go down. Again, backpacks, you know, so on a high loot server, I can basically get geared within an hour, you know, and start killing people, but that's not what a survival game is all about. So after we've done small little places and small little hunting cabins, now we can start looking at bigger towns, okay? Not dangerous areas. We can start looking at bigger towns and look for police stations, okay? But before we go to the police stations, we want to focus on garages, because garages and desks will give us bobby pins, and garages has little wooden cabinets that will give us screwdrivers, small screwdrivers, and we need the screwdrivers and the bobby pins to get into the lockers in a police station. Okay, so let's first go to a big town. Let's see what's the biggest town here close to us. It's right here. Okay, so I'll be back now. I'm just heading to this town quickly. Okay guys, here I am at the entrance of the town, and what I want to focus on is units like this. Units like this will give me small screwdrivers. Okay, wire cutters, you just need one pair, so you can get that at any time. But you're going to need screwdrivers. And of course, you can get lucky with toolboxes. Toolboxes helps you a lot to repair armor and your base. Okay, so yeah, just a lot of standard loot. And guys, even if you don't need the item immediately, trust me, you will need it later. Okay, you will need it later. When you start building a base and doing other things later in the game, you're going to wish you picked up stuff like rubber. Because rubber can make you that metal sword that you like so much. And rubber can make you improvised tire repair kit. If somebody blows out your tire or you find a vehicle without a tire. Again, these desks here can give me screwdrivers. Okay, and screwdrivers are very important when it comes to looting any lockers. So when I come into a town, I usually focus on rooms to get a backpack and clothing, because inventory space is a major problem. It doesn't help you getting loot, but you can't put the loot anywhere. Okay, so your first objective will always be to get gear. And as you can see, kitchens are just for food. We've already covered that. Desks are always regarded with clothing. The big ones are can always give you, and any office equipment will give you quite a lot of padlocks, okay? And then, of course, the bobby pins, which helps you a lot. But big cupboards are great looking for, like these, are great for backpacks, okay? I just said it. But remember, the percentages are quite low. But I like farming the big cupboards when I want a backpack, okay? So that's quite focused looting. These big places has got food up above, okay? Which is nice. That little shop there has got food for you, just like petrol stations and stuff. And then again, I want to go into these areas where these little desks are, so that I can get bobby pins and various kinds of gear that I'm looking for. Okay, and these are usually together, so it doesn't matter if you don't find exactly what you're looking for. Search everything. Okay, because every time you search it, especially on a default loot server, it might be difficult to find them again. You know, if you're missing that one part, you'll get it a lot that you are missing one part. If you want to make something, you think to yourself, you've looked into it like 5 times. Okay, like a lot of people don't like grabbing a cooking pot until they want to cook something. Like with the current metabolism system, it doesn't really help. But later on, when they revamp the metabolism system, remember there's a cooking skill, so it is going to come back. And these garages are just my cup of tea. Okay, you can see yeast and an axe. These garages are really, really nice. It's a good place to lock up your loot as well, because it's only got 2 doors. But if you want to lock up your loot in a house, I will show you now what is the best house for me, because I like to focus on only one door to protect my loot. Okay, but all we're going to do now is quickly see if we can. Yep, we need these guys, so we just need a bit more screwdrivers. You can see these little desks are everywhere. Okay, and the rubber is, of course, again nice and cool to use. There we get some more screwdrivers. And just keep looting like this, guys. So you either loot the town for the houses, or you loot the town for the industrial, for the workshops and the garages and stuff like this. And here is a police station. You will be quite surprised how many garages you find close to a police station. Sometimes they are under the police station, like the police station is sitting on top of something, and they're down below. But you will be quite surprised how many towns have the police stations quite close to them. Okay, and of course you can find ammo in the garages as well. So you can get your basic gear quite soon. And then we go into the next one. I'm sure we're going to get enough screwdrivers here. These garages are, of course, different. I get quite a lot of fishing gear in garages these days. So if you guys are looking for fishing gear. Garages are a great place to get them. Okay, let's just focus our efforts here a bit. That one. I don't really want to loot anything else, just want to focus on these little places. And those rubber bands, boys, those rubber bands, never ignore the rubber bands. The rubber bands is used for this lock protection, okay? Trust me, the lock protection takes a lot of rubber bands, okay? If you want people to get shocked while they're trying to lockpick your doors, get those rubber bands, boys. Get those rubber bands, okay? Okay, so there we go. And now we need bobby pins. So bobby pins you get in lockers and desks. And of course, this place has got lockers. Here you normally, like, every bathroom has got a window. And you'll get, like, soap and stuff from it. Okay, these little kitchens are very nice food sources as well. And pot sources, if you're ever looking for a pot. And there we've got the bobby pins. So, to get the bobby pins out is quite nice. You can just take out one bobby pin, okay? Then you can examine the bobby pin and then click on the safety pin box itself, okay? And then you can just craft. Now this is basically just to take them out. So okay, I'm just going to press Alt-C. Alt-C. Okay. Looks like it's being a hard butt here. So let's take out a bobby pin again. Normally I have to put them there. Then I go, yeah, if it's on the floor, it's going to craft automatically. But if I examine it now I can keep taking them out. Okay, because if they are on the floor, then it's going to try and craft them automatically. Okay, and now we can go into the police station. And of course we can jump through windows. First place, when you get into a police station, okay, this is the entrance of the police station. You want to go in here immediately. Close the door behind you, okay, so that puppets don't interfere with you. And then you want to lockpick. You want to lockpick these lockers, okay? Let's just go through them quickly. Okay, so door number 1 has got a key card. And this is a big thing, boys, except for the loot, the military loot that you can get in a police station. Remember, I wanted to give you guys a 3-hour video, so I'm just going to tell you what I've learned doing that. When you loot police stations, you won't get military gear. You get pistols, an MP5, and a shotgun. Okay, you'll get pistol gear, shotgun gear, and MP5 gear. So police stations are for police gear. And then you'll get key cards. So the key cards are the big things. The other things is just different pistols, different pistol ammo, different shotguns, different shotgun ammo, and different MP5 gear. Okay, you're not gonna get military gear here, but it's still gonna help you a lot. Okay, and I can prove that to you by just getting normal knives and everything in here will be for pistols, shotguns, and SMGs. Okay? And of course, getting a nice pair of shoes is always nice. And getting better clothing. Okay, and then when you're done with that, you run over here. And then there's 2 here for you. You're going to get lockers everywhere, guys, even in bunkers. That is for the Desert Eagle. Okay, it's pistol ammo. That is a pistol. You run up here. pistol ammo. Okay, guys, pistol ammo. There's another backpack. Let me just spawn in one. Let me just spawn in one screwdriver here. I'll make it a small one that we don't cheat too much. Okay, pistol ammo, boys. There's the eagle. You will never find AKs or heavy weaponry here. This is for basic weaponry, okay? But it's good because the big boys are going to focus on the bunkers, okay? But just know you're going to get basic gear here. You're going to get a stab-proof vest. You're going to get this riot helmet, okay? Nothing major, backpacks and different stuff. And I'm going to give you an example of office loot. Okay, I'm going to go to an area where there's a lot of desks, just to prove to you guys how easy it is to get bobby pins, because your first problem is the small screwdrivers for lockers, and then your second problem is bobby pins. Okay, so let's just go see where we can get bobby pins very quickly. Okay guys, this is a very good example of what I was talking about. I'm actually heading inside the bunker to show you guys a lot of desks, okay? But luckily these little places that you get by a bunker proved my point for me very early. I searched this one. Of course, you're not going to get this on a normal loot server, but I'm showing you what you can get in desks, okay? Office equipment is very important for a lot of various reasons. And of course, because we're in a bunker area, we can get military loot now as well. Okay, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head inside the bunker. Of course, there's no megs, and do not loot these towers, guys. Those towers are not worth it at all. Okay, not worth it at all. You have to climb down the ladder, so you're going to be stationary for a player. You're going to be stationary for, for the meg. And another thing is, of course, you can use bushes to hide from the meg and get inside, but never try and loot in the middle of the meg's path. If you want to be on the outside here, it's fine, but never die in the meg's path. It's going to be very difficult for you to get back your body, especially if there's two megs. If you know there's a spot where the two megs have got vision all the time, do not put yourself in that place, okay? Always be at the end of a meg's route, and where two megs can't have visual sight over you, because you're going to struggle your butt off to get back to your body. I'm talking out of experience here, okay? So, of course, when you're done with the houses and the small towns and the tents and the large houses, and the large buildings, and you're forced to be reckoned with, okay, then you come into bunkers, and again, bunkers have the lockers. Bunkers focuses on military gear, okay? It's quite dark, so if you want to come here with night vision or some kind of lighting, that will help. And again, okay, the lockers are good for the lockpicks, but here we go. So here's one desk, bobby pins. Here's another desk, bobby pins, and cool sunglasses, and those rubber bands. Bobby pins, lock. Remember, the percentages will be lower, but I'm trying to show you guys what you get in these places, okay? Rubber bands, okay? This is how you do focused looting, so that you don't waste a lot of time. And be careful with this tuna salad, guys, with the MRE bags. The MRE bags gives you a ton of food, okay? Ton of carbs, a ton of sodium, a ton of fat. It gives you about 2,000 calories in total. Okay, it says here 546, but trust me, it gives you a lot of calories. Okay, so make sure you're in a deficit before you eat these monsters. Make sure you're in a deficit, because you're gonna end up with a very fat character. I like searching these little boxes as well. They give various loot, but I like the nice loot that it gives you, and it can give you ammo and stuff as well. So I really like these boxes. And that's why it's important to loot every single kind of thing. Okay? Again, 4 desks. Okay guys, while I'm looking, if you ever wondered what bathrooms are for, bathrooms, and like I said in the houses, the mirrors are for medical equipment, okay, medical stuff. That's what bathrooms are for. You can even find other loot in here. So this has got clothing in most of the time. You can just open the doors, okay, check if there's anything inside there, and then you get this unit as well, which is not that important to me, but you do get gear inside here as well. I normally relate these little rooms to food, you know, and like water and standard gear. But the main place in a bunker, like I say, this should have like a needle. You need a needle for lock protection as well, which is very, very important. Needles are quite rare, okay, but you can get the bobby pins and stuff in here as well. So these are everything in a bunker is worth looting, but the main thing about a bunker is the armory. Okay boys, so if you see a black door like this is the gun room, okay, and this is except for the kill box. Of course the kill box has got the best gear you will ever find. But this is the main reason that you come in here, okay? Because there's always loot lying around, not at this rate, okay? But that's why I can get fully geared in an hour, because I'm just going to come to the C2 bunker, which is my favorite bunker, you know, loot it up on a high loot server, you know, and then I'll be King Kong very, very soon. But in any case, everything you loot here, there's an RPK. Everything you loot here inside here is very, very, very military related. Okay, so you always want to go for armories. And there are bunker maps online, okay, which cool people have created. And then again, I just spawned in a lockpicker here to show you guys quickly what. Remember the police station had pistol and shotgun SMG gear? Not here, boys. Here we're going to get military gear. So the lockers are very related to where you find them. Okay? Not all lockers are the same. There we get normal pistol gear. Okay. VSS gear. Okay, so this is military gear. So all the lockers, all these containers, okay, in a military place is very, very, very important. Okay, boys, I knew C2 was my favorite bunker for a reason, because here is where you find a ton of office equipment. Okay, if you want to find the loot that you're showing me to find, this is where you get it, boys. Bobby pins, desks after desks, and I get quite a few bandages here as well. Okay, but if you're looking for those rubber bands and those padlocks and those little batteries, okay, for the lock protection, this is where you come, boys. This is where you come, because there's desk after desk after desk after desk. Okay, bobby pins, stuff for days. But again, like I said, the armory is your main focus point when you come in here, and then the kill box is your other major focus point. Okay, and just open all these doors. If you're looking for the armories, you don't want to struggle with the map. Okay, just open all these doors. You will get to where you want to go. You'll get most of the military loot, okay? And remember to close the doors behind you because of puppets. But again, all of this stuff has got military gear. When I'm done with the C2 bunker on a high loot server, what is that? When I'm done with the high loot server, yeah, and I'm finished with C2, I don't really need to loot anymore. And I don't really need to take care of my loot, because even if somebody kills me, I can just get fully geared again, okay? If I don't die for a while, you know, sure, I'll go and loot again. But there's no real need for survival. And like you guys see, all of these things have got military gearing. It's just the spawn rates will be much lower. And again, these little white boxes here, you get weapons on top of them a lot, okay? And you get the bobby pins and the padlock. So these white little places all over the map, they can spawn weapons on top, okay? And stuff inside. So it's really, really nice places to loot. Although I don't think I'll ever go for that one. And again, you've got some food. So bunkers have got a very nice balance of everything, okay? And then when you're done with these places, boys, then you focus on the big city, because the big city has got some hunting cabins. And then you focus on the big airfield, because that's the most dangerous spot in there, because there's Megs underground. And that place has got a whole ton of loot, okay? And then you've got the naval base here, which is really, really cool. You've got the airstrip, which is really, 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 really cool. And you've got the mines somewhere here, there's the mines, okay, underground mines, which is a nice place to loot. And then you've got this big city here to loot as well. But end game is this. To loot everything here is the end game goal, okay? But remember, you start with the forest. Then you go to small little towns all over the place. Then you go to big towns all over the place, okay? And then you go to big cities if you want to, for some action. And then you do bunkers. And then you do the naval base. I'd say start with the two big cities. Then you do the naval base. Then you go to the airfield. Okay? And then the last thing there is of course an airdrop. So let's cover the last thing. Wow, there's a tree right through it. Okay, boys, so an airdrop is probably one of the most dangerous places that you can loot, because you can see all the cover around it, okay? So even if people loot it, then they can still, camp outside. And when you open the door, always open the door from this side, okay? Always open the door from this side, and then you can surprise the guy like this, okay? Because if you just stand back, if you do this, he's going to hear you running up, and then if you open it like this, he's aiming down. He's aiming at you. You're going to die, okay? But if you do it like this, okay, he's going to be a bit confused, and then you can just throw a grenade in here, okay? So let's see here, if you've got a grenade. Okay, so you already added your grenades to your quick slots. So you made it a quick slot. You activated the throwing mode. Okay, so when you press 3, it's immediately in your throwing mode. So he's gonna aim down the sights. He's gonna aim down the sights. Okay, and then you can just, and then wait for him to jump out. When he jumps out, then you can kill him. Okay, because you're covered from the blast. He has to come out for that blast. Okay, you can open the door, but that definitely works for me. Okay, if I stand here, he's not sure where I am. Okay, and I can just lean and throw the grenade inside. Okay, and the reason why this is such a great loot spot, I have done a guide on all the loot that you can get inside here, but we can just quickly have a look. Okay. It's just guaranteed loot most of the time, which makes it very, very viable. And of course, the biggest thing is you can get 3 enforced locks, which is equivalent to 45 padlocks, which saves people a ton of time. You can find 3 advanced lockpicks. Never drink alcohol, just don't drink it, boys. If you want to use this for something, use it, examine it, use it to cook food with, okay, and to make the barbecue. That's the main uses of it, or to make a suppressor. Okay, so food, for me, the barbecue is the big thing. or the fish hook, or the suppressors. Okay, nothing else. I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. It's got a very bad effect on your character. I've died from alcohol before. Okay. SVD. Okay, guys. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, and that's why. This is, at the end of the day, what you want to go for. You'll get PvP here, you'll get a lot of building equipment. You'll get the best gear in the game if you loot this regularly. And it will definitely give you an advantage over most of the people. Yeah, we've got food for days. I told you guys you mustn't be greedy with this stuff. Okay, but yeah, we never have to, we can maybe still loot soda cans, okay? And in the police station, wherever we see this. But we've got a ton of sugar here. We've got a ton of food, okay, that's going to last us a lifetime. And if you guys have got any questions down below, like I say, I did spend a whole day looting every single place. And then I put down crates at every single place to show you exactly what loot you get in that place. But after 10 hours, I could only edit it down to 3 hours. And I don't want to waste your guys' time. So I feel this is much better to give you an overall view. And what you can definitely see is there's a reason to loot the entire map. Okay? Please do not farm certain areas. You're going to make the game very, very boring for yourself. Okay? Enjoy yourself in the experience and get immersed. Like I said, any questions, leave it down in the comments below. And we are going to end on the most in-depth base building guide that you guys have ever seen. And I'm going to show you guys how to make the process very, very easy for yourselves. And it might link up with this looting guide. So that you guys know how to get the resources that I'm talking about very, very easily. Okay, but we're going to be covering a base building guide. And I said I'm going to do a raiding guide. But I'd rather just show you guys how to protect your base and then tell you guys about weaknesses when it comes to base building. See you guys later. Cheers.